Terry, how are you this morning, my friend?
Doing really good. And you?
Yeah, you know what day it is?
It's hump day.
Hump day. Yes, indeed. The best day of the week, Terry. I don't know. For me and you, every day is like hump day, though, right? There's no.
It is.
Just one day just rolls right into the next. It's always the top of the hill for you and I, Terry. No question about that.
Yep, it is. That's for sure. And then when they come with all these scratches right before we go on, makes you like really rush around trying to get things figured out.
Makes you feel a little crazy.
It does, yeah.
It makes you want to go, and then your hair looks like this. I don't know.
That's why I wear a
today,
hat,
my friend.
You know, in my business, doing bids for construction jobs, I get down to when it was due. That's why I have no hair.
Pulling, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I can understand that for certain, Terry. Well, those late scratches get us in a little bit. But before we talk about late scratches, last night we had on Hall of Fame jockey. Excuse me while I get my poison. We had our Hall of Fame jockey last night, Mike Smith, on Horse Center with Sean and I. Did you get a chance to watch that, Terry?
I did. It was really good. I like him because he's pretty straightforward, and he doesn't pull anything back. He says how he feels about stuff.
Well, he's in a position. He's got that what they call FU money, Terry. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
When you just get enough money, it don't matter no more. You could say what you want, do what you want. Really, nobody can do anything about it, just as long as you don't break any laws, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Just don't go all OJ and you'll be all right. But even he did it right. But anyway, so yeah, we talked a little bit about Corniche last night and what his thoughts are there. I was surprised to hear that 2-year-old Breeders' Cup juvenile winner has been on the farm, Terry. He hasn't been even training.
Yeah, that's true.
Morning, Jared. You ready for today? As one of our guests said, let's try to stuff our pockets full of cash. That was Carl Broberg. What was he on for, like 5 minutes, Terry?
I think so, yeah.
If you notice, Terry, I'm saying your name a lot today, Terry.
Why is that?
Because somebody said in one of the comments that I don't say Terry's name enough. I don't know. How much did you pay this guy?
I don't know,
Terry.
I think he was being facetious.
What do you think? I say Terry too many times?
Well, you'd say Terry a lot, so that's fine. I don't really care, but it doesn't matter.
Well, they say everybody loves to hear their name more than any other word, from what I read psychologically. I don't know how true or untrue that is, Terry. Okay, Terry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway, I'm just busting that guy's rear end, Terry. Anyway,
my wife likes it, by the way. By the way, my wife likes that you do that. So
when I call you Honey Bunny?
No, when you call me Terry quite a bit.
I thought you meant Honey Bunny.
Yeah, you could call me Honey Bunny. She does.
I won't go there. It's not my route. Catch late, pick 5 at Park. So thanks. Hey, good. I'm happy about that. I just missed out on that last horse, unfortunately. So hopefully we can do that again today, Mr. Terry Hollywood Honey Bun. Hey, we're going to go to Gulfstream Park today, folks, where it's going to be muddy. They must have had some overnight rain there, huh, Terry?
I think so, because they took it off the turf at first race.
So let's see. Terry mentions there's some scratches. We'll try to kind of go through it as we go along. It looks like for right now, race number 1, there are no scratches, Terry, so we can go right out into that race without any concerns whatsoever at all. It's a 1.16 miles, originally scheduled to be run on the turf, but instead it's on everybody's favorite Gulfstream track, the one we read all the complaints about, the Tapeta course, Terry.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm really surprised that since they took it off the turf, there were no scratches in that race.
I'm kind of surprised about that, too. Looking at it's kind of tough to say. So I did some work for 1.70 miles, Terry. So I didn't do 1.16 miles on the main track. But if you look at the all-weather, 1.70 miles, there's been 73 races, 42 won off the pace, Terry. So a little bit of closer. So it can change the dynamic because the turf track is a speed track, right? And the all-weather track is a closing track. So I think it can change the way the picks work out a little bit. 8 horses on the out of the 73 went wire to wire, and there is an inside out bias, so maybe that works a little bit, Terry. And you know what? I'm coming out swinging today, my friend.
That's right. You're doing your box bet in the first race.
So I'm coming out of the box on my first race because there's some nice prices in this race. My one horse, Choose to Be Happy, Terry. That's the way I think everybody should live their life, especially if they're hanging out with Frankie's girl, listening to some Panati and watching Kitani on those old Whitesnake videos. I think that's a hell of a story right there for race number 1. And the reason why I boxed it up for $1, exact, the 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. But let's talk a little bit about the horses here. Choose to Be Happy, Terry, is making its second start off a layoff. I do think the horse is going to be forwardly placed. I don't know that's going to help here. It does have the top early pace numbers by a little bit, but you're getting a jockey upgrade to Paco, which I think is a big plus, who was tied for the most wins on turf at 12, but that doesn't matter now. Frankie's Girl did tie for the top last race speed figure, Terry, dropping from $36,000 purse to 24, so cutting off 12 grand. Last race on January 28th, so the trainer is turning this one right around, and it does have the top late pace figures in the field, so that fits in with the Tapeta. Top early pace, late pace combo, Terry, in the money 6 and 9, but those were on Gulfstream as well on the turf. Number 7, Panotti, top pedigree, Terry, won the last on all weather by 2 3/4, so the return back to all weather I think is a big plus for Panotti. And then finally, Kitani, like I mentioned, gotta love those Whitesnake videos. But this is another horse that has some great late pace in the races. And I don't think it has enough to win, but maybe that track change, it could be enough to win. At the distance, the horse has raced 5 times with 2 wins and 2/3. You know what, Terry? It's tried another distance 10 times. And you know how many wins it has?
0.
Absolutamente nada. That's correct.
Yep.
He likes the 6, Jared Kitani. All right, Terry. So who do you like?
Well, I like number 7, Panati.
Yeah.
Anyway, won their last race at Gulfstream and has the highest last race speed rating, tied with another horse. Then there's number 8, Divine Exchange, finished 3rd versus Tupper on an all-weather track in the last race. So this went to an all-weather. Highest last speed rating is a tie with the number 7. And drops in class today, switches to a high percent winning jockey, Luis says. And then number 5, Map 'em Up, finished 2nd in the last race at Tampa Bay Downs and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. She has the best turf speed among today's starters. She's tied with another. And then number 2, Sprites Lady, switches to high percentage winning jockey, Jose Ortiz, has won in the last 7 days, 6 out of 22 races, finished 2nd twice, or 4 times, and 3rd 4 times.
Yeah, Jose's been on fire down there. That's for sure.
He has, yes.
Race number 2, Terry, in this 8 race card is 5 furlongs on the all-weather track. This one's an allowance, $40,000 race. I think the only scratch in this race, Terry, is number 7, Stuck on Kitten. So I know we both had that horse early in our picks, but we do no longer have that because we can't. It's a 5 furlong race, 45 races, Terry. 29 were won by speed. 15 of them, Terry, went wire to wire, and the post positions are fair. So how do you like them, Honey Bunny?
Well, I like number 5, Silver Cloud, who ran 2nd versus Similar in the dirt last race. And she switches to a high percentage winning jockey, Luis says. And then I like number 1, Codename Lisa, ran 2nd in her last race, losing only by a nose, and she was bumped pretty badly at the break. The trainer wins 30% of the time, the first time after he claims the horse. And then the trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days has been in the money 6 out of 10 times, winning 3 of those. Then I like number 4, Headline Hunter, ran 2nd versus Tupper in the last race and received the highest last speed rating. Drops in class today, and her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters, which is pretty cool because we're on the all-weather. And blinkers added today. And then number 6, Lucky Lakes, won last race at Gulfstream and has a bullet workout on February 1st.
We did, Jared, check all of them. They last updated. So we come on at 12 o'clock Eastern, and the last set of updates came out at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So it's we caught most of them. There might be a few that we have to deal with later on as we move through the show, but I think we got the majority of them. Some of it you have race changes, there's jockey changes. Like I'm curious to see who Paco Lopez is riding in race number 5. He's got a couple different horses there he can be on. So they didn't make that change yet. So whoever he goes to, the other horse depends on, because there's some scratches there too. Who's going to get that mount? Is that going to be a downgrade, not a downgrade? So that was something we haven't seen yet, but we did try to catch most of them before we get started. It's one of the reasons why sometimes we're really hectic at the end there. I'm really scrambling because they make changes right as we're about to come on. And sometimes Terry and I have enough time to make adjustments, but sometimes we don't. But for me, I was contemplating making number 4, Terry, here, Headline Hunter, my best bet for the day. This is a horse that ran some of the fastest. In fact, it has the fastest quarter-mile fractions any horse is put out in this field. The trainer is turning this horse out right around. Last time it raced on January 23rd, and when it did, Terry, it ran a speed figure above par for this group. It's making that drop, Terry, going from a $61,000 purse last time out to $41,000. Has run on that all-weather 3 times. Terry has 2 wins and a second, so it's done really well there. And when you look at that late pace, early pace combination for this 4-horse Headline Hunter, Terry, it's not close. It has the best early part and late part of the race when you add them up. Number 6, Lucky Latkes. Isn't that the guy from Taxi, right? The one who just anyway, the one that Jim Carrey played. What was his name? I forget his name right now. But anyway, won his first trip on Gulfstream Park's all-weather track. I do expect that he'll do better the second time around because he had a bullet work between that race and this race. And last time out, he ran some of the fastest opening quarter fractions for this field. Code name Lease, something like that, Terry. Making its first start off the claim for trainer Joseph Safi Jr. Doing that, he's won 71 times in the last 237 races. So that's a pretty good clip, I'd say. Do you agree with me on that, Terry?
I do. Yeah, that's a good clip.
And he missed by the nose as the beaten favorite last time out, despite running some slightly better fractions. Done well on the all-weather. 3 furlong works since his last race. So that's telling me that Safi Jr. wants to help code name Lease get off the better start today. Finally, number 3. This is a tough call between number 3 for me and Terry's top pick, which is interesting because Terry has his top pick and I don't have it in there. It's usually the other way around. But when you look at High Fair, last time out, won its last race, breaking its mating in its 7th try for sure. But it was a huge improvement. So if the horse does another step forward today, could upset at a price, Terry. And that's what we're looking for today on the muddy track is some prices.
That's right.
Let's see. Corey Lanieri, he says, I read is ice cold, not touching him. Yeah, that's for sure. He's been hot all over the place today, right?
Yep.
And he says Corey Lanieri has been hitting and Tyler Gaffney his money. Yeah, I mean, these are all good jockeys down there. That's, I think if I had a chance to ride an Aqueduct in the winter or I had a chance to ride a Gulfstream, where I would be, Terry.
And me too, Gulfstreams.
Absolutamente. All right, for you, Terry, race number 3 is your box it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that I think there's some pretty good odds in here. And I like number 7, Oakhurst. She has the highest last speed rating and has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. I read Ortiz, although he's been cold, of course. But the trainer wins 30% of the time when going from turf to all weather. And Lasix is added this time. Then I like number 8, Only Time. Ran second last in the last 2 races, and the winner wins 23% of the time the first race after a claim. He has a high percentage winning jockey, Louis Saz. And then number 6, Adele. The trainer wins 25% of the time when going from turf to all weather. Lasix added to this one too. And then number 1, Platinum Moon. First time starter, but the dam has 4 winners from 6 starters. And one of those was a stakes winner.
This Paco's talented, but yeah, he was. It's also not very friendly terms, I guess, with Chantel Sutherland based upon the conversation we had, right? Terry?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Man, I
true.
personally don't know the guy, so I'm not going to pass any judgment one way or the other. But the yeah, anyway, race number 3, Terry, is a mile and 70 yards on the all-weather, as we mentioned at the get-go. All 1 mile and 70 yards, 73 races at that all-weather, 42 from off the pace. So you got to be one with some late legs, Terry. Only 8 went wire to wire, and there is an inside-outside bias. So it means the farther you get away from the rail, the lower the win rates are. And what do Terry and I do? Of course, we go right to the outside, Terry. We love to be trend busters, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Number 8, only time is a nose and a half a length, so just this much away from winning the last 2 races. If you look at the all-weather record, 4 races, 2 seconds, and a third. So it's the first time off the claim, 7 wins out of 30 tries for the trainer, and did run the fastest quarter-mile fractions any horse has been able to put together. Speed, really trying to break against the trends here, Terry. Oakhurst is making the first start off a Lasix, getting Lasix for the first time, Terry, and has put in 19 furlongs of workouts since January 15th. That's a lot of workouts. There's no question Oakhurst is going to be fit and ready to run. Number 2, Mandorla has the top early pace numbers by a wide margin. So if it can get out and run some decent fractions and control the race, has a chance to go wire to wire. And I expect it'll be even faster today because this horse has been running in sprints first route. Many times you see those sprint horses in their first routes really get off to a good start. And he's increased his speed figure 3 races in a row. And finally, number 1, Platinum Moon, Terry. First time starter. It's kind of hard to go against that P&P, Pletcher and Paco combination. Plus Todd Pletcher down there in Florida has just been smoking. He's won 35% of all of his races in South Florida. And this is a horse that's got 21 furlongs of workouts since January the 2nd. So yet another horse, Terry, that should be fit as I say your name one more time. So now I'm like self-conscious about saying your name, Terry.
Don't worry about it.
Race number 4, my friend. How about we go there? This one is 1 mile. It's on the dirt, Terry. And let's see about any scratches. So no scratches in this race either, Terry. And this one includes your best bet. But before you talk about your best bet, 1 mile on the dirt is 1 turn down there at Gulfstream, Terry. So it's more like a sprint than it is a route. 51 races, 41 of them won by speed, Terry, 17 of which have gone wire to wire. Post position 8+ has an edge, but 1 through 7 play fair. I laugh because every time I say your name now, it's like a bell going off in my head, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I wouldn't worry about it. That way you don't forget who I am.
Yeah, well, Alzheimer's runs in the family. I might, but until then, go ahead.
All righty. Well, in this race here, I like as my best bet, number 3, Bloomington ran second versus Tougher in the last race, drops in class today. Trainer wins 19% of the time with all her dirt starts, and best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied. Number 5, Tune In, won 2 out of the last 4 races and should improve at this shorter distance. Has a really sharp workout on February 3rd. Then number 1, I'm a G6, has the highest last speed rating, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with number 3, and has a sharp workout on February 5th. Number 2, Dixon's Joy, won last race at Gulfstream Park, and he can handle the distance.
Tune In, number 5. Funny, your your first pick and my 4th pick are swapped. So I have Ludington, your best bet, as my 4th pick, and my 4th pick, your 4th pick is my first pick. So tune in, Terry. There's that bell again. It's all or nothing at Gulfstream Park. He's run 9 times, has 5 wins and nothing else. So it's all or nothing for that one. If Tune In gets off to a good start, got a good chance to win. It's a neck from winning the last 2 times he came off the bench. So that's a pretty positive start. 3 of its last 4 workouts were bullets, and the horse is making a big drop. And those workouts have all been since December 31st. So it's making a big drop. Ran for $125,000 last time, down to 37. And It's almost suspicious considering all of the strong bullet workouts, the record. Maybe they're just looking to add that sixth one. I am a G6 top last race speed figure. It's another that's making a drop. Ran for 85 grand, down to 37 this time. When it did run last time out, it ran a speed figure above par for this crew. It does have the top last late pace figures by a pretty good margin for this field. And it has the top early pace, late pace combination as well. So should be able to string together a pretty good race. Number 6 is Alma Shriek. You think that's about right? I don't know. Top pedigree also ran a speed figure above par last time out. With Luis Saez, does have a win at the distance and the surface. So I like to see that. Just that the jockey and the horse have had some success together. And then your best bet, Terry, is my 4th pick. So I hope I'm wrong and you're right.
I
think
do too.
yesterday, I think, what was it? My best bet, I think one of our best bets won and the other one finished second, I think. I don't remember how. Yeah, my best bet won. I think yours finished second.
Yeah.
Ludington, top early pace numbers in here by a little bit at Gulfstream Park. Terry's run 10 times, 4 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. And at the distance, ran 4 times, 2 wins, 2 seconds. So been on the board 100% of the time when running 1 mile. If you look inside the past performance numbers, you see a better fractions in the last race. And this is a horse that has put together the fastest quarter mile fractions of any horse. And again, another one of these horses in this race that put together a top last race speed figure above par. Race number 5 is that killer race. What's the big complaint with the Tapeta? I guess what it is nobody can figure out what the bias is. So because they can't figure out the bias, it's making it more difficult to handicap and pick winners. So I think that's the big complaint. And that's something that Peter Aiello brought up when he was on the Player's Edge podcast, is that the Tapeta is not one that they've been able to predict so far. And really any horse could win from anywhere. And I think, players know that Gulfstream Park had a pretty big speed bias. And now that kind of handicapping has been kind of taken away in the Tapeta.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, thank you. I've been keeping track. Rich, you got me 4 winners there. You have me done. Oh, come on now. I'm going to frame that one.
That might be, but then evidently he didn't play my horses in the 7th or 8th races yesterday at Parks. So if he had, he would have won those.
So if you got closing speed and can't sit off the pace, the horses are winning on the Tapeta. Trust me. So he's got closing speed and can sit off the pace. So that's but that's what it looks like on the Tapeta too. When we do the when I do the the profile of a winner, I did notice that a lot of closers are coming in on the Tapeta course, especially as the races get longer. Seems like speed still holds up on the shorter races. So race number 5. Oh, before we go to race number 5, got to talk a little bit about tonight's show, Terry. We have on another great guest over at the podcast with Sean and I for the Horse Center. Tonight's guest is another fantastic jockey with over 5,000 wins, retired now, but Tony Black used to ride him into the winner's circle pretty regularly over at Parks, or back then when it was called Philadelphia, right?
Philly Park, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How much money did you make on this guy, Terry?
Quite a bit. I used to play him all the time. So
I'm looking forward to this show tonight. And for those of you who played Tony in the past, if you have any questions, make sure you join Sean and I at 8 p.m. Eastern. He'll be on. Put the questions in the comments on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll be sure to ask him. Although I did miss one last night, and I was with Mike Smith, and I was not happy about that. So I apologize for that in advance for last night. All right, Terry. Race number 5 is the killer race, Terry. Why is it the killer race?
Well, because it ends the first pick 4 and starts the second pick 4.
And what's crazy about race 5 is this 5, probably 8 horses could win this race, Terry.
Oh, yeah, it's wide open.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. So let's bring the picks back up. Race number 5, Terry, is one that was supposed to be on the turf, got moved to all weather. So much like the 1 mile, 70 yards that we talked about on the all weather track, 73 races, 42 won off the pace. As Jared's been saying, if you can sit off the pace and you have some late legs, you got a good shot to win. There is an inside out bias, excuse me, but there's a lot of scratches in this race, Terry. Let's make sure that all of our horses are still in here.
Yeah, they've scratched the 6, 7, 9, 12, 15, and 16.
Yeah, I think we're still good there, Terry. I don't
Yeah,
see any
we
of
are.
our numbers off. So,
Yeah.
all right. So race number 5 to close out one pick 4 and begin another. Terry, this is going to be a difficult task, I feel like. So, fire away.
Well, I like number 3, School Dance, ran third in her last race at Tampa Bay Downs. She has the highest last race speed rating. She has a high percentage jockey Paco Lopez in the irons, and she breeding suggests she'll like the grass, although we're not on the grass. Number 13, Luna Antonio, ran second in the last 3 races and has the best turf speed of the day starters, which again doesn't matter.
Nope.
Number 11, Mia Calamia, finished third versus similar on the all weather, and now we're on the all weather, so I think it's going to be playing. And the only start she was carried out really badly at the 3/16th. The trainer wins 27% with entries on their second career race. Then I like number 5, Uncaptured Grace, ran second versus similar on the all weather in the last race, and that's about it for her.
So we agree right from the get go on the 3 horse, Terry. School Dance ran a speed figure above par last time on the all weather, run twice, has a win, a second and a third. 3 consecutive speed figure increases in 3 races. So stepping up the ladder every time the horse hits the track. Does have some pretty good opening fractions, Terry, and was decently bet in his debut. I'm going to go with number 11 as my second choice, Mia Camilla. Top early pace numbers, which doesn't really matter now that the race is moving off to the Tapeta. I expect that you're going to see the horse improve in its second start. The last race did run a number that was big enough to get the job done at this level. And another one that had some action in its last race in its debut. Number 14, Golden Effect, scratches into the race. It is a Tom Carley drop, ran for the maiden special weight last time out for 60,000, this time down to 39,000. Gets Lasix for the first time, 3 consecutive races in a row with a speed figure increase. So I'm thinking that Lasix could be really helpful in here. The last time out, the horse was better in its second race off a layoff, and in between races has another good workout. So I like to see that. Number 2, and then number 2, number 13, number 5. I mean, any one of these, I just kind of can put them in a hat and pull one out and probably be just as good. But I went with number 2, looking for another price here. Another Tom Carley drop from the maiden special weight, 60,000 to 39,000. Ran a number above par for this crew last time out. Again, another horse that's walking up that speed performance ladder, race to race to race, getting that number a little bit bigger. And trainer Bobby DiBona has 10 wins in 17 races in the second time Lasix for their horses. So that's a pretty strong angle, 10 out of 17. Tough for me to ignore. And let's take a look, Terry, at how we tried to piece together these tickets for these pick 4s. So the first one we did was the hot dog pick 4, and that was races 2 through 5.
Right.
I came out and made a stand, Terry. Boom, like you did with the 2 horse yesterday. I'm making a stand with the 4 horse, and then I'm going 2 because I do think the 7 and 8 in race 3 are the better of all the horses in that field. And then just put as many as I could in the next 2 races.
Yeah, that looked like it's pretty cool the way you did that.
Yeah,
Well,
that triangle.
I started out with 2 horses in the first leg, the 5 and the 1, and then 7 and 8 in the second leg, 3 and 5 in the third, and then I went 3, 13, 11, 5, and 10 in the fourth race.
Yes, I'm afraid of your 13, and you should be afraid of my 14.
Yeah, I am.
It's going to be because you just can't stick them. I mean, that was one of those races where you can put a lot of horses in there and still probably not pick the right one.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is sad, but yeah, what are you going to do? Race 6, 5.5 furlongs, Terry, claiming $12,500. When you take a look at the profile of a winner of 5.5 furlongs on the dirt, 19 races, Terry, 15 of them. So a great percentage, won by speed. 10 of the 19 went wire to wire. So get up and go, and you got a chance to get it done. 4 through 7 have been the best post positions. You do get a penalty if you're right on the rail, Terry. And 2, 3, and 8 plus are all fair. So 4 through 7, and then 2 and out, 8 and out, and you're probably all right. We both agree on the first 2 horses, just a little bit different order.
That's true. Yep. So in the 6th race, there are some scratches. There's the 2, the 3, and the 5 are all scratched.
Yeah, and I looked to check to see if it impacted our picks, and it didn't.
Okay. I actually like in the 6th race number 8, Bakataya.
Back at you.
At
Back
ya.
at you.
Back at you. Yeah. Won 2 races out of the last 4 races. Drops in class today. Figures to improve while returning to dirt. And the trainer wins 29% of the time when he drops a horse down 2 classes. Best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Then number 7, Rayo Colorado, ran second versus similar in the last race, receiving the highest last race speed rating. Should improve at the shorter distance and the sharp 4 furlong workout. And then I like Active Valor. Trainer wins 19% of the sprints and sharp workout on February 5th. And then because the 3 scratched, I put the 6 Oriental Park in its place. So let's see. I like this horse because, it's got Lasix added and it ran against Tougher in the last race.
So in race number 6, for me, a lot of the horses I like got scratched out, Terry. So I had to go kind of deep after the first 2, stretch it out a little bit. But Rayo Colorado, 3rd off a layoff, sneaky better fractions last time out. Ran the same fractions at 6 furlongs as it did at 5 furlongs. So that's actually an improvement in my book, Terry. Last race speed figure above par for this group and did run some of the fastest opening quarter fractions last time. And speed is definitely the way here. Back at you, Terry. Has put together the fastest fractions for the quarter mile than any horse in this field. Small drop, $41,000 to $28,000 this time around. Trainer Gerald Brooks has won 22 of 75 races when he drops the horse down 2 classes. Number 1, Gilligan. Did you watch that show, Terry, when you were younger?
Yeah,
Gilligan's Island?
Yeah.
Professor or Marianne, Terry? Which one?
Marianne.
Not Professor. What was the other one? Marianne and Ginger, right? Ginger or Marianne?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That was the big debate amongst boys when I was a kid. I don't know if that would be the debate today, but that was the debate back then. Yeah. This horse has some of the top early pace numbers in the field, Terry. First time Lasix, and you know how much I like that first time Lasix with pace, but it gets even something, I don't know if it's better or worse, probably better, but worse for the horse, gelded. And it's dropping a small drop, $34,000 down to 28. And finally, Whiskey on His Lips. This is a horse that's getting first time Lasix as well, with a little bit of early giddy up and go. And had a pretty solid work on February the 2nd as well.
Yeah,
you should put that up as a question.
Yeah, you need to take the 3 out of my race there and put the 6 in at the end.
3 scratched?
Yeah, 3 is scratched. Yeah.
So 4, tab 6. There we go.
Yep, there we go. Also, Gulfstreams just went off, and they're coming down the backstretch. So
let's see how race number 1 goes, Terry. So I have my box it up right there already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. It's not letting me look at the video. For some reason, you have to go to race number 2 to see race number 1.
Yeah. Right now, none of your horses are in the first 3.
Oh, that's good news.
30-1 shot, 9-1 shot, and then the 8's up there, who's 5-2. Here comes the 7 on the outside. So 7 running 3rd now. Something else is coming the outside too. So
here comes a 7. 7 looks like it's the winner.
I hope so, because that's who I've got in the contest. So that's my horse, Jared.
7-8.
Yep. That's my 2 horses, Jared. Hope you played them.
Well, and 7 went off at 5-1 too. That's a good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's hope that Jared played my horses for a change. I got the trifecta cold, 7, 8, 5.
Perfect. I didn't get my. You should have boxed that one instead of me.
He said, "Nice Terry Boom."
Terry Boom. Yeah, well, Terry's due, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what race are we on now, Terry?
When he said he did. He said he did play it. Well, that was the 6th. Now we're going to the 7th race.
7th race. So I'm completely confused. Okay. 7th race, Terry, is 1 mile. It is on the turf course. The dirt course, it looks like to me, Terry. Yes, indeed. Sometimes this track confuses me down there. 51 races, 41 won by speed, 17 gone wire to wire. As I mentioned, 8 and out has an edge, but 1 through 7 plays fair, Terry. this time in race number 7, you start off with the 4-horse, a horse that I don't even have.
Yeah, that's number 4, Embrace My Uncle. Won the last race at Gulfstream Park and has a really good workout on February 2nd. And then number 7, Rebelli, beaten only 2 lengths in his last start. And the trainer wins 31% of the time when bringing back a beat favorite to the race. And the trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days have been in the money 6 times, win 3. Number 1, Gump, finished 3rd in the last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another one. And he has a sharp workout on February 4th. And then 5, Man on the Moon, ran 2nd in the last race and has a high percentage winning jockey.
Let's see. So it looks like you're getting some more love from Charisse Wolf there, Terry. She's giving you 7 won the first at golf. Thank you with $3 bills, Terry. That's your tip.
All right. Yeah, I've got it in that contest that we've been doing too.
So that should get you off to a good start, right?
Should, yeah.
Yeah, I went with the 1 horse there. Unfortunately, didn't even get me any money, so I got to come home the rest of the way. Yesterday, it's funny because in the first 4 races that they had in the contest, I had the winner in 1, and then my second pick won every other race, and I think I had like 4 or 5 second picks that won. That's just terrible. But what are you going to do?
And same with me. I was after the with 2 races to go, I was in 8th place, so I was looking pretty good. But then I didn't catch anything in the last 2. But my second choice actually won one of those, and if I had taken that one, I would have been in the top 15.
18, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So for me, race number 7, Terry, is number 7, top pick, Rebelled, second off a layoff. History says that the horse should be about the same. Pete Aiello screaming in my ear again. Excuse me while I mute him. And then the next horse for me, FTC 7 horse. So this is a horse that did increase its speed figure 3 in a row, turning around pretty quickly. Last ran January the 20th. First off the claim, trainer Rohan Crichton has won 25 of 75. So quick math says that's a third. Better fractions last out, and you get a jockey upgrade, although he's been cold. I read Ortiz. Number 2, Uno Tiger, just means 1 Tiger, won the last time it had last race with Paco Lopez. And if you run back 3 races, had a really good race at 1 mile on the dirt, winning by 4 3/4. The distance, the horse has run 4 times, won 2 of them, and ran off the board on the other. So it's an all or nothing with Uno Tiger. 6, Tis Rhine Time was the favorite last time out, Terry. Joseph Safi Jr. does win 82 out of the last 256 races. The next time out with a horse that disappointed as the public's choice. This is a Denzel Washington horse, though, Terry. 4 seconds and 3/4 in its last 7 races, spending a whole lot of time around the winner's circle, but just not in it. Number 5, Man on the Moon, does have the top pedigree for this field, Terry. 2, some of the fastest opening quarter-mile fractions last out, with some strong improvement in its 2 furlong and 4 furlong pace numbers. And this will be the second time around with Luis Saez. So I expect a better effort from this horse today, as Luis has a better understanding of how it runs. So I started the race with my box, didn't really do well there today, unfortunately. Terry's box would have been the right spot there because they still haven't posted the horse in third place.
There might be an inquiry because, as Charisse says, the 4 was squeezed by the 7.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah, it would be. I wouldn't be very happy.
No, that would be a crappy way to start the day for sure. So race number 8, Terry, it is a 1 mile and 16th on the turf. Again, they're off the turf, so 1 mile and 70 yards. It looks like it's going to rain there right now all day. I'm going to start here with the 2 horse as my best bet of the day. Hopefully it does better than my box did. But the 2 horse, Buenissimo. So something that's kind of good, but small, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Did have the top last race speed figure, and that was on the all-weather track, Terry. And this race will be on the all-weather track. Had a bullet workout between its last race in this race. And at Gulfstream Park has run 4 times to 4 seconds. And on the all-weather, 3 races, 1 win and a third. So this horse is the proverbial gambler's fallacy, due to take one of those second places and turn it into a first place at Gulfstream. You tell us about your 4 picks.
All right. I like number 2, Buenismo.
Yeah, Buenissimo.
Misimo. Yeah, I finished
Mhm.
third versus similar on an all-weather track in the last race and got the highest last race speed doing that. The winner wins 18% of the races when going onto an all-weather track, and highest speed figure today in at today's distance. And then number one, exponential won last race at Gulfstream, and the trainer wins 50% of the races when he goes from all weather to turf. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Sharp workout on February 5th. And
Just
then
went official, by the way, so you didn't know nothing to worry about.
they went official. Good, yay.
Yes, but the 4-horse I think ended up getting third. So it
Oh,
looks like either that or it was a dead heat because they're showing 5 horses. I'm not sure.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, number 3, Seize the Hay, and of course drops in class today. Trainer wins 23% of the races when it's first race after a claim, and of course I like it because my last name is Hay.
Mhm.
And then number 7, Wicked Finn, drops in class today.
So in the last race for me, Terry, I already mentioned Buenissimo is my best bet, followed by Exponential. Does have the top late pace numbers by a good margin, Terry. Has a really good workout on February the 5th, so the horse should be fit. On the all-weather, Terry, 4 races, 1 win, 1 second, 2 fourths, so it's never been out of the money on the Tapeta. And, and one of the things you asked about the Tapeta course, I always look, and this is something I learned from like dealing with Golden Gate out by you, Terry, watching those horses go from track to track out there, is that all weather, you have to look at seeing how a horse is performed on all weather because it is a different surface. That's typically how I look at it. And if they haven't run on all weather, then my backup is how did they run on turf? And then if they haven't run on turf, my backup is how did they run on an off wet track for dirt?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at them. I put Seize the Hay. I'm surprised I put Seize the Hay before you did, Terry.
Well, actually, the 5 horses scratched, so that Seize the Hay becomes my third pick.
So now who is your 4th pick then?
Yeah, my 4th pick. Let me look. I just noticed that it was scratched.
So while you do that, I'm going to go with Seize the Hay. First off the claim, Carlos David. I told you last week I'm not a big fan of folks with 2 first names. I was told to never trust them, but you can trust him first off the claim. He's won 52 out of 218 times like that, and does have his best speed numbers when coming off the bench like today. So the horse seems to perform best when it's fresh. And then number 7, provided it's in the race, Wicked Finn dropped from $61,000 to $28,000. So a horse that could improve second off a layoff, although that's not been its history. And it did run the best 4 furlong pace numbers that it has in the last 10 races, Terry. So who's your substitute there for race number 8?
Number 7, Wicked Finn.
You're just copying me. That's all. And that wraps up the card there, Terry. But what we have to do now is talk about our late pick 4, our prime rib pick 4s. And again, that first leg, Terry, that killer leg that ends the first one and begins the second one. We both said, you know what? We're going to put we're going to stake a claim there at the end and stake a claim at the beginning.
Yep, that's true. I actually like in the first leg, the 3, 13, 11, 5, and 10. Then I go with an 8, 7. And then I use the 4, 7, 1, and 5. And then I use the
the 3 has gone out of there, so your ticket's going to be less now. It's going to be like mine, except a little bit less expensive.
You mean the 8th race, the 3's gone.
Yeah, so
right?
the 7 will be in there.
So I actually, the 7. I actually used in the last race the 1, 2, 5, and 7.
Mm-hmm, because the 3 scratched.
Yeah.
So for me in the last leg, I'm going to take. Well, I don't have the 5 anyway. So, or there was the 3 that scratched, right, Terry? Which one scratched?
Yeah, I think so. Let me look again. No, it's the number 5 that scratched.
There's 5 that scratched. Okay,
yeah.
So mine's still good. So that's how mine's $90. Terry's is going to be cheaper because the 5 is not in there. So you're going to move the 3 and the 7 over, and that is our prime rib picks. Just real quick. Run through there's all the races. My box it up is done already, unfortunately. 2 out of the 3 horses finished on the board, but 5 is out in the last race.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get the trifecta because the 4 beat the 5.
Mm-hmm. And then, unfortunately, my 4 got. Yeah, I wish he would have gotten the trifecta. It would have been better for us. Yeah. And then our hot dog pick 4s, which are about to get started, Terry, in race number 2. Here we go. Terry's going with the 5-1. I'm taking a stand, Terry. I'm going with that 4-horse. And right now, the 4-horse is the 6-5 favorite. As I said, it was a debate for me to make it a best bet for the day. Our prime rib pick 4 later on for the last few races of the day, Terry. And then your best bet of the day. How did it go yesterday for you, Terry?
I ran with my best bet yesterday. Let's see. I ran third actually with the number 6 horse, Reed's Fangirl.
Mm-hmm.
And my third pick ran second with 2 dogs, 4 cats. So I don't remember who won the race, but I think it was a hard favorite.
I think the 1-horse won that race, no, right?
Yeah,
if
probably.
I remember correctly. So today, race number 4 is Terry's best bet of the day. Starting off with Ludington, right?
Yep. And then, of course, we've discussed these already, but ran second versus Tougher last race. Drops in class. Trainer wins 19% of the dirt starts. Best dirt speed as fast as one of today's starters. And then I like number 5, Tune In. Won 2 out of 4 of the last races. And then should improve at a shorter distance. Sharp 4 furlong workout at February 3rd. Then I'm number 1, I'm a G6. Has the highest last race speed rating. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Best dirt speed as fast among today's starters. And a sharp workout on February 5th.
So, Jared, Tampa Bay pick 4, what races are those? So people know what numbers you got there. And 1, 7, 2. So I'm not quite sure what races there are, but those are Jared's pick 4s over at Tampa Bay Downs. If you could tell us which ones they are, that would be fantastic.
Probably.
If you haven't had a chance yet, if you go over the horse, go ahead, Terry.
Well, it's probably the 2nd through the 5th at Tampa Bay.
Okay. Well, I was just asking. If you haven't had a chance yet, get on over to horseracingtoday.net. So the first one's races 1 through 4, and then I guess the last one would be the last one of the day. And then if you haven't gone over there yet, Chris Parmalu, who's been on the Derby trail for us, put out his top 3 horses for the Kentucky Derby so far. And according to he likes Corniche, Smile Happy, so he agrees with Mattress Mac there. And then Messier coming off of that. I don't know what you would call that win at Santa Anita and the Robert B. Lewis, because there was a short field there, so I don't really know what it ran against. But you can catch that and all sorts of other stuff over at horseracingtoday.net. When Terry and I are not here, you'll find his best bet of the day. Tomorrow, Terry and I will be back to cover New York. Hopefully, I sent Terry the right picks today.
Yeah, it was fun.
So he had the handicap Gulfstream twice. So Terry's prepared for Gulfstream tomorrow. So my bet is going to be that Terry's best bet tomorrow will be at Gulfstream Park again.
I would think so, yes. But you never know. I might like something better at Aqueduct.
Yeah, Jared didn't think that was much of a race with Messier. That's to me, that's the thing too. I don't know what quality was in that race along with Messier. Again, tonight we'll be back, Sean and I, with Tony Black to talk about his career, what he's up to now. If you have any questions for the Hall of Fame jockey, please make sure you let us know, both on Twitter, Facebook. You can do that by subscribing right there. You see it on the scroll. Horse Race, the number 2, and then day. So Horse Race Today. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, help us get to 1,000. We're almost there. We got like 80 left to go. We appreciate everybody who's subscribed. If you haven't done it, so please click the subscribe button and the bell. That way, when we go live, you'll be notified for all of our shows, including tomorrow night when we are with NBC Fox Sports broadcaster Lafi Pinkai III. I don't even know what races we're doing for that yet, Terry. I got to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know either. So,
any final thoughts before we get up and out of here, my friend?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Jared Bush really wins today. He looks like he's got quite a few bets going, and I see there he has Happy Smile at 25-1 in the Derby pool. Anyway, other than that, I just hope everybody has a great week. It's been pretty good for me. I did have a bit longer day yesterday, but that's okay. I enjoyed it.
My fault.
No, I don't mind.
That's my fault.
I make plenty of mistakes. I'll tell you that right now. So anyway, and I just hope things go well for everybody. So have a great rest of the week.
And I'm hoping that by tomorrow, at least by the end of the week, we'll have our gear. And I'm telling you, everybody's going to love our horse racing gear. I have absolutely no question about it. I personally can't wait to wear it because I've been looking for it, haven't been able to find it. So like Mom said, if you want something done, do it your damn self. Right, Terry?
That's right. Absolutely.
So I'm going to count how many times I say Terry on the show tomorrow. All right. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern to go through Aqueduct. Sean and I will be back tonight. Until then, folks, until we meet again, we hope that your day and all of your picks, Terry.
Wait.
What?
You want to do the free picks from the GTA?
Yes, I do want to do the free picks. If you haven't noticed yet, at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, a little bit of a change over there today. The new website, new layout. If you're going to bet today at Sam Houston, you don't need to be registered. Just go over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, hit on Sam Houston, and you will see our picks there. And I don't know. That's interesting to me that it came back in this format because it's not supposed to be in this format, but I know why it's in this format. And that's because when people were printing it, I guess it was taking up way, way too many pages. So in any case, head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet when you're playing Sam Houston today. And hopefully the first race goes 2, 3, 6, 5.
That'd be great.
All right. That's it, Terry. So hopefully all of those picks over at Sam Houston and your hump day end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. See you tomorrow when we'll talk about Aqueduct.